Hi guys. Well, it's Friday night. X has been over here for a while, so I couldn't record. I got half-inch bolts into the new table and got it set up. Um, the body files I ordered. I should have looked at the thing better. They're inserts, and two of them are for a 14-inch, one's for 10-inch, and the 6-inch is broke. So that was pretty much a waste of money. I ordered a new file with the handle and the whole thing. I not sure what I was thinking there, but I haven't cut that lip off that brace yet. But she's pretty sturdy, and I got the half-inch bolts in there. Good. Like I said, X was here, and Lisa's trying to move Connor. So we've been talking. I want to know if this is going to hold up. I don't even know which direction to put it on to bend this, but we'll see what happens. Trying to figure out. Oh, there went the vice piece. You gotta have a pretty good vice setup because it takes a lot of pressure to use this. I might be forcing it more than it needs to be. The teeth grab it and they spread the metal. That's got to be getting really close. Well, the old table's holding up. If I turn it a little bit, I think I could be putting pressure on it without it rocking. I mean, we got all the weight on this side and we're going at it. It's kind of cool because I got That 2x4 brace running right underneath the vise. So she's all locked in. But that's pretty damn close. So I'll go put it on the frame and see where we're at. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm back in business. Okay, got that piece bent. I got that front panel on there. I got some clamps in it. I knocked it around to where it's close. I drew a line. I'm gonna go and double check that I didn't mess anything up and cut that front panel off and see about putting some tack welds on that and seeing if it still fits. Make sure it fits on that front of that car. I mean, it's only metal. If I figure out I messed up, I can always redo it again. But hey, that is almost exactly what I got built on the other side. So it's only a firewall. It's all covered up. It looked like it was crooked at that angle, but it's running right along the side of the spot welded original panel. So once I get that all fitting, I chop it all out and start fitting her in. Once that panel's in there, I can put the tunnel in. So yeah, that's what I'm working on tonight. X went home. Lisa's at Connors, moving him from Hamble to Palmyra because he's a cop up there. He can't take his police cruiser home because he lives in Hannibal. So he found a place to move in Palmyra, and he can take his cruiser home once he moves up there. So they're off doing that, and I'm working on patches. And I think I heard Bonbon. So might do a little shorter with Bonbon if she's being. Sometimes she's social and sometimes she's not. So we'll see. So let me get to looking at this a little bit more and get the cutting. Okay, it's close. Close to what I need. Apparently I bent that panel about that much too short. But the lip on the other side may or not be good. So it doesn't matter. The big part is getting this with that fitting in that nut pocket, and because then I could put that tunnel in. I can always patch the rest of this up if whatever needs to be done. But the big part is having this part right here. So I'm not building another panel just to frickin' rebend it to come up. So make sure this is all the way back in the corner. That is where it's supposed to be. Get it welded in, and I can finish off everything else later on. As long as I can get that heater tunnel where I can attach it to the other side. So that's what I'm working on. Yeah. Put this together and hope it fits the frame. We'll see. Well, this piece was rocking in there a little bit, so it needs to be bent a little bit more. That's what the stretcher does to it. So I set it back up in there and gave it just a little bit more bend. And I couldn't find a body hammer close. And I don't know how many remember or were around. They cut a bunch of my white locust down, and it has red colored wood inside of it. And a guy come back by and wanted to know if I give him a chunk of it, because he builds axes and hatchets. And he said that if I gave him a chunk of wood, he'd build me a hatchet. BK. That's not out of my wood, because my wood has to cure. But I just was like, here you go. Never thought I'd see him again. Then he brought me this, and I told him I'd beat the car out with it. So I straightened that panel out with that. I took some brake clean and got rid of the marker, because that getting tweaked a little bit changed all that. So I'm going to set it all back up at the car and get some new lines put on here. So that's what I'm working on. So yeah. That was the coolest thing that anybody's ever done for me. He didn't build the head, he built the handle. He got the head from Ace, but yeah. Somebody that actually came back. BK. I cannot remember his name, but that's his initials. Anyways, I'm going to set this all up. Back in there again. Draw new lines and see where I'm at. So, alrighty guys. Okay guys. I got her folded to where she sat in. Drilled some holes so I could put some bolts in there. When I was fitting it, I put a mark, because every time you take it out, it ends up in a different spot. So once you figure out where it wants to sit, you put a mark. That way, every other time, that's your goal. So make sure it ends up by that mark. It's over just a little bit because it's sitting against the back lip. So it's got to go back a little bit. And this edge has to be flush with it. So it's close. I think tomorrow I'll pull them bolts out and go set it on Napoleon's hat and make sure that's exactly what it wants. You'll have a lip. And then just put a face plate on it. And then to run a line down and weld them together. It dips in right there. So I'll have to do some metal repair up in here, but I don't care. As long as this side is good and set, I can put the heater tunnel back in. The rest of it's cosmetics. Just making sure it's all flush and sealed up. It needs some work right in there. It needs some work up in here. But as long as I can get that set, if that's the right angle, according to Napoleon's hat, and that's where it's supposed to be, I'll do the same thing as that side, weld it all together, and then I can put the heater tunnel back in. But I think that's it for the night. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.